What's up, guys? Oh boy, I've got an awesome game to show you today. VRising. Let's take a look at VRising. It's a new action roleplay survival and crafting game from Stunlock Studios. It has PvP, PvE and single player available, so it covers all the bases there, where you can play as a vampire in the world of Vardoran. I think that's right, Vardoran. And you've been sleeping for centuries and you awaken to find you have lost all your powers and, well, everything really. You've got nothing left. And it's now your quest to regain your strength through mastering abilities and skills that you'll learn along the way, when you level up of course, to rebuild your wealth and a new place to call home in the form of a mighty castle. Oh man, this game looks so good. Can't wait to get stuck into it. And if you think you would like to have a go on VRising, then you might be able to play it for free. If you keep watching this video, you will find some Steam keys available throughout it. So keep your eyes peeled for them. Let's get into it. So let's check out the world of Vardoran. Vardoran is the world in which you, a vampire from days gone by, awaken to find you've lost everything. You can choose to play in a world where you can fight other players and raid their castles, or you can choose a world in which vampires are united against the scum, which is the human race, where you can feast on them, or turn them into your servants if you like. You can also become a vision of Dracula himself and conquer Vardoran all on your own in a single player world if that's what you want to do. The world is split into 5 main areas. Farbane Woods is a hilly wild woodland where you will begin your journey. It's filled with ancient ruins from a vampiric past, nestled among tall trees, large rocks and overgrown plant life. You will encounter all sorts of animals here, and them ever so tasty humans of course. Dunley Farmlands is, of course, well, it's farmlands. It's filled with plump humans, plump farms that you can feed and feed from. It's rich in fruit as well as loot, so potentially seems like a good hunting ground all around, as you will be able to turn some of the pesky humans into your unwavering servants. The Cursed Forest is, well, I mean, look, come on guys, these places do seem to do what they say on the tin, so to speak. And it's a forest that's cursed. Yeah. It is dark, eerie, and probably quite homely for a vampire, I would imagine. And it's filled with crippled and grisly creatures stuck between life and death, wandering around this grim, dank, dying forest with some very real and evil dangers lurking in the gloom. So I don't know if I fancy a camping trip there anytime soon. Silverlight Hills is the centre of the human civilization in Vardoran, where you will find the mighty port city of Brighthaven. The Silverlight Hills are the perfect setting for an autumnal masterpiece. Autumnal, isn't it? That's the right word. Autumnal masterpiece. It's filled with beautiful colours of the autumn in its valleys, mountains, and its coastline, I believe it have, which is pretty cool. It is also rich in minerals and all sorts of resources, so very much worth raiding, farming, and just wandering around this beautiful region, really. The other place on the map you'll see is the Hallowed Mountains, which is a mysterious place and will remain so until you explore it for yourself, because I really couldn't find much out about it. It's the hardest area in the game, and you 100% do not want to go wandering around there until you're as strong as Dracula himself, because yeah, it's apparently basically the end game area where we're going to find ourselves. So don't go wandering there until you're super strong. It's safe to say it's a mountainous region though, judging by the descriptive names of the other areas. So I guess we can assume that at least. So let's talk a little bit about the gameplay. So as I mentioned earlier, it's an action roleplay survival game, and you would have seen in the background it's got a top-down style to it. But you move with W, A, S and D instead of a point and click. This was a surprise to me at least, because I was expecting to be using a point and click style like some of my favourite top-down action roleplay games like Path of Exile or Diablo. And I thought, oh no, this is going to be a nightmare, going to be super frustrating from a top-down view. But actually I was pleasantly surprised and it worked really well, and when you get used to it, it's pretty good. I like it. You have an action bar for your weapons, tools, etc. as you'd expect in survival games. You also have an action bar to the right for skills, And in between the action bars you have a blood pool, which is not your health, which confused me to start with, as that's what I thought it was, but it's actually what you draw power from. And you fill it up by consuming blood, and then you can use powers that consume that blood to heal you. You can also feed on living creatures to heal yourself, and you can see your HP above your character, and you can also see it on the top of the left hand action bar. The most important thing you need to know though is that you have to avoid the sun. It will kill you. You can venture out in the day by sticking to shadows and buildings, and you can increase resistance to sunlight as you gain strength, but you need to keep out of the sunlight. You will be burnt and die. So make sure you keep track of the time using the clock in the top right corner of the screen, and then you can see how much nighttime you've got left or how much daytime you've got left before you can get to the safety of the darkness of night. To craft gear, you collect resources from creatures, trees, rocks, etc., just like other survival games, and you use the crafting menus and workbenches to craft items and gear. You also have a building menu where you can craft building components to build your dream castle. So all the elements you'd expect from crafting in a survival game. The game has a very good tutorial introduction, so I won't go into all the controls and all the functions of the game, but it has a really good tutorial introduction once you awaken for the first time in the world, and it will walk you through how to move, crafting basics, and all the way up to building your base. So it covers a good array of information, and it's here you'll discover the castle heart, which is essential for your castle. It strengthens your base and powers it, including your workstations, and you need to keep it topped up with blood so that you can have everything functioning. Once you have your castle heart, you're well on the way to building your stronghold and increasing your power, with which you can conquer unique creatures, bosses, and if you wish, you can destroy other players and raid their castles to regain the vampiric hold on Vardoran. So do I think VRising is the next big thing in survival gaming? I think it's got massive potential to be just that, yeah. I'm genuinely very excited to begin my vampiric journey in Vardoran, and it could have dropped when I wasn't about to go on the road for 4 days, but never mind. Anyway, I'm very excited, and the game looks amazing. Graphically, it definitely reminds me of Valheim. It's definitely got that vibe and look about it, which I really like, so that's always good from my perspective. I'm a big fan of Path of Exile and Diablo and action roleplay style games, and I'm a huge fan of survival gaming. If you've been around my channel, you probably already know that. So to have these genres crossed, it's pretty cool for me, and I think probably a lot of other people. The people I play with certainly play both genres of games, so to see them crossed, like I said, is a really cool thing to have. From what I've seen so far, the gameplay looks very addictive and super smooth. I really hope they do follow in Valheim's footsteps with the launch, because for me Valheim was one of the best game launches in years. It was super smooth, the dev team were good, the response from the players was just incredible. Like, the community was awesome around Valheim for everyone that played it, and VRising definitely has the potential, I think, to follow in the footsteps of a game like Valheim. I normally play PvE survival games because of my work, but I'm very tempted to get involved in PvP in VRising. It seems like it will be great fun, and the actual player versus player fights seem like they will be very skill driven as well as the gear, but I think skill's going to play a big part in PvP combat. And I've seen people talk about the possibility of servers with PvP that only includes player combat and not base raiding. So you could enjoy PvP combat without coming home from work to find you've been offline raided and have lost everything, which is why I can't usually PvP in survival games. So if we had servers where that was possible, that you could just fight each other and not raid bases, that would be really, really cool. For its £15 price tag as an early access game on Steam, I think that's really worth the money. It's pretty standard around that price range, and I think, from what I've seen of the game, it looks like it is worth the £15. And if you like survival games or action roleplay games, then it's probably worth a punt, in all honesty. And if you're sat on the fence about it and you didn't manage to grab one of the giveaway codes that were in this video, then I'm sure it will be on sale on Steam at some point for a lower price than what it is at the moment. So make sure you add it to your wish list if nothing else, and keep your eyes peeled, because I really do think this is worth buying. And like I said, I can see it's probably going to have a bright future. I could be very wrong and this is not going to age well. But I do have a feeling that it's, you know, it's definitely got a lot of potential, and I think it's going to be a hit. So yeah, I think it's worth the £15. Anyway guys, I hope the video was interesting, and I hope it's brought attention to VRising, and hopefully it's tempted you to at least take a look at it in more depth and see what you think, whether you want to play it or not. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it and it was helpful. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video or found it helpful, and hit that subscribe button for more videos and more VRising videos where I'll cover more details on the game as we go forward, and hopefully a gameplay series as well, so keep your eyes open for that. And before the video ends guys, if you want to see all the trailers that are currently available for VRising, then stay tuned and they will follow in a moment. That's it from me though. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.
This was ours. We ruled this land. We owned the night. But man rose up against us. We were overthrown. For centuries, hidden away in darkness, tortured by thirst, choking down dust, starving, until now, our hunt begins again. Rise from your deathless slumber. You are a vampire, a creature of the night. Explore the unknown and start gathering resources. Survive a world full of danger. Hide from the deadly sunlight. Begin rebuilding your castle, piece by piece. The time has come to regain your power and claim what was once yours. Gather your army of darkness and conquer every corner of the world. Stalk the night. Hunt for blood. Become terror itself. Of the night have returned. The vampires are rising. Call the militia! Help! Vampires! Vampire at the gates!
Spirits, hear me! One shot, one kill. You're done.